Okay, question 5. To answer this question, you need to read lines 56 to 70 and also consider the passage as a whole. The writer uses the walk to Wreck Island to show a change in both Emma and Robbie. How far do you agree with this view? 10 marks. You should write about your thoughts and feelings about Emma and Robbie in this section and the passage as a whole, and how the writer has given that across. Question 5 is worth 10 marks. It's 13 to 15 minutes. Always agree with the question. Look for 7 to 10 quotes that show the change in Emma and Robbie. Start a sentence with I think, I feel. Do this question on the passage as a whole. Make sure you at least make at least 1 point from lines 1 to 56 to 70. So what I would do is do the answer. Don't just do the answer on the last section. Do the answer on the whole exam paper, but just make sure you at least talk about the section at the end. The evaluation question, which basically means giving your opinion, will always be question 5 in the exam, which is basically the last one. So some of the other questions move around a bit, but this question will always be the final question in the exam, and it's actually the one that students do least well on, basically because it's the last one and people run out of time. So you've got to make sure you time manage and get to the last question. The most important thing about this question is giving yourself time to do it. This means managing your time carefully on the rest of the exam. If you don't manage your time, this is what happens for question 5. This is a real student paper, 0, and then it says didn't finish. So it's actually quite a simple question, so we've got to make sure we get it and at least get 5 or 6 out of 10 on it. Always agree with the question. So this question was about changing them. It's easier to present an argument. The examiner are not going to pick an exam question where you say, do you agree, and you should totally disagree. They're always going to pick something that they want you to agree on. How many quotes do you need to use? I'm trying to use 7 to 10 quotes. Basically, I'll try to do as many quotes as you can in the 13 to 15 minutes. Why do we want to use a lot of quotes? Basically, you get more marks. So these are 2 student answers based on this question. They're both similar lengths. However, the one on the left got 3 out of 10 and 4 quotes. The one on the right has 11 quotes and it's got 9 out of 10. So if you take one thing from these videos, you do really do better. If you use a lot of quotes, you're going to get a higher mark. These 2, like I say, they're similar length of answer. They're actually similar quality of answer as well. But just because the one on the left is not enough quotes, it's going to get a low mark. The one on the right writes loads of quotes, so it's got a really good chance of getting a high mark. What's the good news about this question? Well, you can write about anything, even if you've already said it on other questions. So if you're talking about a change in Emma and Robbie, and you've already answered it on the previous question, that's fine as long as it's relevant to the question. Okay, and on this question you don't have to use subject terminology, so you don't need to talk about verbs or adjectives or anything like that. Coverage, this means using quotes from all parts of the selected lines. So if we're talking about a section, we don't want to just pick quotes from the top half. You're not going to get very good high marks if you do that. That's not going to be good. Yeah, you're not showing the examiner you've read the whole thing, you've not tracked the text. Okay, however, if you do it from the whole part of the extract, you're going to do well. You've shown the examiner that you've read the extract. And also, this question is about a change in Emma and Robbie. And you're not going to be able to talk about a change if you pick quotes from just 3 or 4 lines. Okay, remember this question is, the writer shows, is there a change in Robbie and Emma? So almost rephrase that to, do you think there's been a change? And what phrases or words make you feel like there's been a change? Okay, so remember, this question is on the whole extract, but also a little bit on you've got to make sure you do at least one answer on the last part. So read the extract and think to yourself, how have Emma and Robbie changed from the beginning to the end? And then look for 6 to 10 quotes that show me that they've changed. So pause the video and then we'll go through it. Okay, so this video is looking at how to write a grade 5 answer. If you want to look at how to write a grade 9 answer, look at my other exam videos. So this question is looking at how to get a grade 5 or grade 6 answer. And basically you're going to use a quote and explain how that quote shows that Emma and Robbie have changed. You're going to do 1, 2 sentences per quote, no waffle or line or long PEs. So we want 8 or 9 points in quotes, not 2 huge PEs on 2 quotes. So we're going to talk about lots of quotes in a little bit of detail as opposed to a few amount of quotes in a lot of detail. So let's look at an example answer. At the beginning, Emma is happy to be without Robbie. and the quote is felt the need to spend time apart. However, at the end, she's feeling guilty and is sat by his bedside. Okay, this student explained a change in Emma and backs it up with evidence from the text. So at the start, I'm saying she's happy, and I've got a quote to back that up. And at the end, I'm saying she's feeling guilty and she's with him. Okay, so I'm showing the change. At the start, she's happy and happy to be independent on her own, and by the end, she's really with him because she feels guilty. Okay, I'm showing the change in that character and using quotes to back it up. Okay, so let's look at an answer. This question is on Emma and Robbie, so make sure you do it on Emma and Robbie. Your exam probably will just be on one character. However, if it's on two, you've got to make sure you talk about two. So Emma, I've put, at the beginning, she is happy being without Robbie, felt the need to spend some time apart. However, by the end, she's feeling guilty and is sat by his bedside. She's also less active and perhaps acting how Robbie wants her to be. Instead of being physically adventurous, she's baking cakes and coaxes him to eat. Coax suggests a caring maternal side. So I zoomed in the word coax and said what it means. She's realised she may really love him because she nearly killed him. For Robbie, one obvious way he has changed is even more grumpy than before. At the beginning, he likes a challenge, but at the end, he was aging, felt humiliated, and the text suggests he may think Emma is too daring for him. So I've looked into the text. I said at the start he's grumpy, and at the end he's even more grumpy, and he sort of stopped being as physical as he was. And I've also made a little point, which is my opinion, that maybe the text suggests that Emma is a bit too young for him and a bit too physically adventurous for him. So if we look at the whole quote, okay, at the top you'll notice as well, okay, I've started with a sentence saying how much you agree. So you've got to make sure you do that. Remember, the question is, do you agree? So I've got a sentence at the start saying, I do believe there were some changes in Emma and Robbie. And you should probably do that whatever question you do. Do a little sentence at the start saying you agree. Then I've done that, and after that I've put clear points answering the question and lots of quotes. So how many quotes have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've got 10 or 11 quotes in my 10-mark answer, and that's showing the examiner that I've covered the whole exam paper, and I could investigate the changes in both of them. Okay, so let's look at some exam student answers. So this one got 4 out of 10, and it only used how many quotes? 1, 2. So it's only got 1 or 2 quotes, and because of that, it can only really get 4 out of 10. The examiner's comments are in red, and it says narrow range, some sense of contrast, limited development. Narrow range basically means they've not used enough quotes. So if you don't use enough quotes, you're not going to get above 4 out of 10. This one, if you read through it, okay, it's got lots of quotes. It's got probably 11 or 12 quotes, and because of that, it's got 10 out of 10 marks. It's also got some really good insight too, but I really want to get over this one. 2 quotes, you're not going to get above 4 out of 10. This one, lots and lots of quotes, 10 out of 10. So really, if 2 students were the same in terms of quality, but basically one used 2 quotes and one used 10 quotes, the one who used 10 quotes is going to get a lot better, a lot higher score. So if you take anything from these videos, in the answers, do as many quotes as you can. So overview of this question 5 then, it's 10 marks, 13 to 15 minutes. Agree with the question, do as many quotes as you can in the 13 minutes. Do this question on the passage as a whole, but make sure you do at least 1 point from the lines 56 to 70. That's the end of the video. There are exam videos and other papers. Have a look at them if you need to, and hopefully this has been of some use. Thank you.